What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Red Randomizer Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we made our way to this town right here, Lavender Town, with the creepy music. And, because we got through Rock Tunnel, it took considerably less time than I thought it would. But now we're here, we're gonna take on Pokemon Tower. In case you've never seen Lavender Town, and in case you've never been here, the music is very creepy, and there was even this whole, phenomenon when the first Pokemon games came out, because the first Pokemon games were Pokemon Red and Green. And if y'all know a decent amount about Pokemon, you may be like, oh, but I thought Red and Blue were the first ones. However, there was this thing called Lavender Town Syndrome, which caused Pokemon Green to be replaced with Pokemon Blue. And I will explain that, in case y'all have never heard of it, as we go through here. But for now, I'm just going to talk to this guy. I can pray for my Clefairy. Sniff. I can't stop crying. What does this one have to say? Did you come to pay respects? Bless you. Okay, you? My Growlithe, why did you die? You, ma'am? I am a channeler. There are spirits up to mischief. Okay, so yeah, in case y'all have never, played this part of the game, or in case you've never played this game, period, so this is a tower, which essentially works as a graveyard, and our rival is here. People theorize that he's here paying respects to his dead Raticate. Hey, Alex, what brings you here? Your Pokemon don't look dead. I can at least make them faint. Let's go, pal! So basically, people theorize that the reason why he's here is to pay respects to his dead Raticate, because previously on his team he had a Raticate, and now he doesn't. So people think that, oh, why would he not have 6 Pokemon? Since he'd have 6 Pokemon if he kept the Raticate, why would he not just keep the Raticate? Unless he couldn't. Unless the Raticate died. To which I say, I personally don't believe in the theory. I don't think it's factual, because he has a Pokedex of, he said earlier, like, that the number of Pokemon in his Pokedex, and he said, like, 37 or some crap like that. He definitely said he had more than 6 Pokemon in his Pokedex, and maybe that is just because he, like, evolved certain Pokemon, but I feel like there's no possible way that, with the progress he's made on his Pokedex, he couldn't have 6 Pokemon. Like, I feel like the fact that he has so many Pokemon in his Pokedex proves that, his Raticate is not dead. He just doesn't have... He just has a team of 5 and not 6 because he wants to not have a team of 6. Because if he wanted to have a team of 6, he just used some random Pokemon from the PC. Like, I think that there is no reason to say that his Raticate is dead when you could just say, oh, he's being selective about the Pokemon he's using, because he's got so many. Like, I think that is a much more realistic, explanation for the lack of a Raticate on his team. But I'm sending in a Bulbasaur. If we still had, Ember on our Magmar, that'd be a great switch, but, yeah, in case y'all missed it, I got rid of that move by accident, because of this game's mechanic of asking you just once whether or not you want to get rid of a move. And if you click, if you click yes on delete this move, then, it doesn't ask you again like it does in future games, it just goes for it. Also, this guy is a Golduck and a Psyduck. That's wacky. But yeah, just a little quality of life improvement that some people don't view as a quality of life improvement, but I definitely do. Because sometimes you're just mashing the A button, and then you accidentally delete a move, and it's like, you accidentally pressed to delete a move. And if that like, asking you a bunch of times whether you really want to delete it had been in this game, then I wouldn't have accidentally deleted Ember. Now, I don't know if Mewtwo has Psychic at this point, but I'm kind of scared that it might. I also don't know what does more damage, Thunder Shock or Quick Attack. I believe I've tried this before, and I think that Quick Attack might do more, then again it might not. I'm not entirely sure. I'm like 90% sure that Thunder Shock does more. And plus, Thunder Shock paralyzes anyway, and we really want that paralysis. Just to make things a little bit easier. Hopefully this thing doesn't have Recover. I don't even know if Recover is in Gen 1, but I think the Mewtwo definitely learns Recover in future gens. Thunder Shock is disabled, so now is a great time to check. Does Quick Attack do more? Probably should use Toxic, just to have that, like, timer on Mewtwo's life, just in case, like, other Pokemon struggle to take him down, but it is just going for Disable, which is great. I don't know what's going on. This Mewtwo is tweaking right now. It is just like... okay, finally it goes for an actual attacking move, but like this was about to be the dumbest Mewtwo ever if it just like didn't attack, if I killed it without it even attacking. It just kept going for Disable. I guess it just wanted to keep going for Disable until it worked. It just wanted to disable something, but the problem is it just kept missing, so it just kept going for it, which I think is really funny. Like, I admire the dedication. He's like, I'm going to hit this Disable. It is going to work. What? You stinker. I took it easy on you, too. How's your Pokedex coming, pal? I just caught a Cubone. I can't find the grown-up Marowak yet. I doubt there are any left. Well, I better get going. I've got a lot to accomplish, pal. Smell you later! His classic catchphrase that is just disrespectful enough to offend you, but not disrespectful enough for kids to be like, oh no, I'm gonna go tell my parents that they said a bad word. Wonderful. It's like, it's always funny to me in like really child-friendly games how people insult each other. Because in rated M for mature games, you know, they just like curse it. People just curse at each other. In Pokemon, they just like use these stupid ass insults. Even we could not identify the wayward ghosts. A SILPH scope might be able to unmask them. Oh, yeah. Why am I going up Pokemon Tower? Hold on. Okay, so I beat Blue, and I think we'll stop there for now because I forgot I need the SILPH scope. How did I forget that? So that is in Celadon, right? Which is the town that Erica's in. You have to take out Team Rocket in SILPH, in case y'all are not aware. It started out as a question. I started out being like, you have to do this, right? And then I like actually came to the conclusion that you did. So it's no longer a question. Now I'm telling you guys. You need to go to Celadon, and you need to go to SILPH, and you need to beat Team Rocket over there to get the SILPH scope so that you can see the ghosts. Otherwise, you can't get to the top of Pokemon Tower. I'm a rambling, gambling dude! Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Well, I'm one of those things. Analyst wants to fight. Analyst sent out Articuno. I mean, technically, like, gambling dude, but not, like, legally. Not, like, in the traditional sense. I've played, like, the stupid Pokemon, minigame. It's like the Pokemon minigame, not, like, actually in real life, because I don't know if y'all could tell, but I'm not old enough to do that just yet. I'm not gonna dox my age, but I will say, not old enough to gamble. So, I play the little Pokemon minigame, and I make a lot of stupid bets with my brother. So I would call myself a gambling dude, but not, like, in the traditional sense. So, this person's setting out an Onix. We are going to switch out Andrew, because Onix is a ground type, and we are an electric type, and ground is super effective against electric, and in general, it's just a bad matchup because we also cannot hit it with an electric type move because it's also immune to electric. You know, types with immunities are just automatically better. It's really good. Why did I switch to this is the question. At this point, like, literally, sometimes I'm not even, like, I'm not even internalizing what Pokemon I'm sending out. I'm just sending out a Pokemon for the heck of it. Just like, oh, this one's lower level than... This one needs a level. It's like, this one is one of the lower level members of the team. I'll just send it out without even paying attention to what Pokemon it is. No, we need to send out Haunter, because Haunter is the only one that has a move that is actually, like, super effective on this. Not only the only one with a move that is super effective, but the only one with a move that is, like, even effective at all. It actually has two moves that are super effective. We will go for the Bubble Beam because Haunter is a special attacker by a lot. Like, special attack is much better than physical attack, so we are not going to go for the physical low kick, I believe it is. The analyst says, missed the big score! But anyway, as I was saying about Lavender Town Syndrome before, hold on, let me talk to this trainer. Let me get into this battle and then I'll talk about it. You need strategy to win at this. Probably not, because my Pokemon are probably so much higher level than yours that it doesn't really matter. I could probably just send out anything, but anyway, as I was saying, with Pokemon Red and Green were the first games, and because those are the games that came out in Japan. But by the time they got Pokemon Red and Blue, by the time Pokemon Red and Green, by the time Gen 1 got to America, it became Pokemon Red and Blue. Because one of the major problems with Green was that apparently there was the Lavender Town theme, that spooky theme that we just heard in Lavender Town, had certain tones in it that were, that led to kids committing suicide. And, I don't know, like, from what I've heard, it's not like a super, it's not like a super, like, confirmed thing. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me how, like, certain tones in music could lead to that, but it is definitely an interesting piece of Pokemon history, and it is a highly controversial thing. I do like to look back at those, like, highly controversial points in Pokemon's history, because, that is an example of, like, people presumably dying from Pokemon, because it's like, what correlation does this music have to children committing suicide? I don't really know, but, like, rumors say that it happened. What is not, like, a rumor, and is straight up, like, proven, was the whole Porygon thing with the Pokemon anime, which I think is just, I don't know how that happened. Like, I'd imagine that back then, it's not logical. It isn't logical. I don't know how that happened, because, I mean, I imagine back then, there were so fewer, like, because in case y'all never heard of it, the thing about Porygon, and the reason why he sort of got ousted from the anime, and overall just got a lot less attention in Pokemon going forward, for, past Gen 1, we must look silly standing here like this. Yeah, slightly. But the reason why he got ousted from Pokemon, especially the anime, was because there was this Pokemon episode in Season 1 called, like, Cyber Warrior Porygon or some crap like that. And it was about Porygon, and it included a lot of flashing lights that caused seizures. And so it got banned, like, basically all over the place. And I guess because Porygon, it was an episode about Porygon just straight up got, like, disowned by a Game Freak. It's definitely, like, an interesting thing to look back on. Very, very sad. But I like Porygon. I think that it is rough that like Porygon sort of got, like, disowned by Game Freak because of that whole, like, fiasco with the seizures and stuff caused by his episode. But I do think that it is, like, a necessary thing. Like, I think that is, like, the best thing you could do to sort of, like, pay respects to the families that were harmed by the whole Porygon seizure thing. Is, like, just, like, get rid of him, don't mention him. But it does suck for the Pokemon, because Porygon's a very interesting Pokemon. So, anyway, Super Mario Galaxy. I don't know, I was kind of thinking of a creative way to transition in, but, I couldn't. Pokemon to Mario is a rough transition, but I just feel like talking about Super Mario Galaxy right now. I was brainstorming before this recording, what exactly I was going to talk about, because last episode, I know I had, like, a minute of just, like, straight up not talking, because I just couldn't come up with anything, and I was making, like, stupid noises while I was trying to think of something to say. Like, not even that many stupid noises to where it's funny. I was just, like, making a couple of stupid noises, like, I was, like, clicking my tongue, like, a little bit of, like, every once in a while. It wasn't even that common to the point where it was, like, funny. It was just, like, kind of weird that I just, like, stopped talking and resorted to, like, small, low noises. But, some days I do go into the episode actually having things that I want to say. Sometimes I don't. That is a day where I just straight up didn't. But I did brainstorm a little bit before this episode. Look what you did! And, since we were in Lavender Town, I felt I should talk about Lavender Town related stuff, but now we're out of Lavender Town, I figure I will transition into what I actually wanted to talk about. Meow, that's so cute! Meow, meow, meow! Nobody clipped that. But, yeah, just, like, Super Mario Galaxy is... I think that, basically, I played Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy, well, Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy for the first time through 3D All-Stars, I did get the physical copy, and I will absolutely hold on to that case for as long as I possibly can, because I will definitely hold on to the case for a while. Like when I know that certainly has to be worth money someday. Like all those limited edition things are like crazy. I feel like a lot of limited edition things just get like a lot more expensive over time, especially like video games. Video games gain value a lot, and while I don't know if I'd like be okay with selling the video game, because I just like to collect. Like it's rough for a collector to sell video games because they are obviously selling them to collectors, but they are also collectors, so they want to have it. Like, if you're like me and you like to collect video games, then it's hard to like sell rare ones because it's like, yeah, you could get a lot of money for it and you got to buy like the other video games, but then you just sold a really rare one. So it's like, you know, it's like, I could probably get a lot of money for it, but considering they're like no longer being made, it's like it would be rough, and it's definitely a decision I'm gonna have to make somewhere down the road. And I don't know like how much money that is going to gain, but I imagine since it's Mario, it could get quite expensive. I know that like Pokemon games have gotten very expensive, so if I could get something like collector's edition, like Pokemon, like limited edition type of thing with Pokemon, that would be like impressive. That would sell for a lot eventually. But like I don't know, like 3D All Stars, I know that people had a lot of complaints. Meow. But I definitely think that, like, I never played the original Super Mario 64, but I could tell that it was, like, different. School is fun, but so are Pokemon. I did hear about, like, no, I believe there was no, bomb clipping. I don't know if that's what it's called. Bomb clip. It's, like, the thing where you get the bomb and then you, like, clip through the fence in Bob-omb Battlefield. I don't know if that was the glitch, but there were certain glitches that were patched out that people were not happy about, and overall people were just like not happy about the controls. And I obviously never played the original, but the controls felt off to me. So I'd imagine since Super Mario 64 is so highly loved, that the controls must have been different in the original. Because I was playing and I'm like, why would people love a game with that controls this badly? And so I've resorted to I've come to the conclusion that they didn't, and that's just Nintendo Switch. That's just 3D All Stars being 3D All Stars and not making a good like, not like remastering the controls to the best they can be. I'll stay with school, says the strong man, the strong nerdy man with the glasses. I like Nidoran, so I collect them. I mean, yeah, like, obviously I've said before, Nidoqueen and Nidoking are, out of the two, I definitely prefer Nidoqueen, but, like, both are pretty cool. I do just like the Nidoran line. Nidoran line is pretty cool. I do like those, like, split evolution lines. Those are generally just very interesting. I think that the gender one, the way that, the Nidoran line is based on gender is interesting. And I also think it's interesting, like, where it splits, because obviously there are other evolution lines that are based on gender. Like, Snorunt evolves into either Glalie or Frostlass. Curlia evolves into either Gallade or Gardevoir, but there just aren't a lot of them that split, and then that split into, like, a line, you know? It's like they either... Like, usually when they split, it's like either male final evolution or female final evolution. It's not like they split into two different evolution lines, you know? Like, the fact that it's not like Nidoran, and then the fact that it's like Nidoran, Nidorino, Nidoking, or Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoqueen, and not just like get to second evolution and then not just like 1, 2, and then split for third stage is like interesting to me. Because obviously that's like the Curlia, that's like the Routes evolution line thing. And I feel like that's been used much more commonly throughout the series. I can't think of a lot of like gender evolutions where it depends on gender. Glalie, I feel like the Snorunt line and the Routes line are the obvious ones. I know that there are like a handful of Pokemon that are like only a certain gender evolve into this thing. but then there isn't another option for if you don't have that gender, like Combi into Vespiquen, or Salandit into Salazzle. Because only the female Salandits evolve into Salazzle, and only the female Combi evolve into Vespiquen. Is there a male-only evolution line? I wonder. I don't think so. Where it's like, okay, they only evolve if they're male. If they're female, they don't evolve. I don't think there is. Because obviously you have, like, if they're male, they evolve into this, if they're female, evolve into that. Like, the branching off, depending on gender. But I don't, and there is, like, if it's not female, that doesn't evolve. But I don't think there's if it's not male, it doesn't evolve. Why? Why? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. You seem very invested in this whole evolution conversation. But, my gentle lady, gentlewoman. Gerald is coming back, and it is kind of rough that we deleted Ember. I shouldn't say we. You had no hand in that. I guess I'm just picking up the YouTuber thing, because I always used to say while watching YouTube, like, why did they say we? I wasn't involved, but then you end up saying it. It's like, you use the royal we, even though you're not, the audience had no involvement. Alright, let's roll the dice. Another one of these rambling, gambling, what is it? What is this trainer class? A rambling, gambling analyst. The analyst took a gamble. He's like, these statistics may be right, they may not be. I'm publishing them. The rambling, gambling analyst. It's funny. But yeah. Super Mario Galaxy. I said I was going to talk about it, and then I think I just didn't. But, oh yeah. So, I did get to the 3D... I did kind of use that as a transition to 3D All-Stars. I said I was going to talk about Super Mario Galaxy, and then, without talking about Super Mario Galaxy, I transitioned to the 3D All-Stars, because I'm silly. But, yeah. Thing about Galaxy. I really do enjoy, like... Oh, I think that a lot of the boss fights have interesting designs, but one thing that I miss from, like, previous 3D Mario games is, like, the bosses actually have reasons for you fighting them. Because I think it's really funny how, I think it's really, like, I think, like, some of the Super Mario 64 reasons for bosses fighting you are very funny, especially the Super Mario 64 DS ones, like, King Bob-omb and Goomboss being like, oh, your mustache is lame. Like, they literally fight Mario because they think their mustaches are better. I think that's so funny. I don't know if it's both of them, because it does seem odd that they would build both of them, but I'm pretty sure it's both of them. They're sending out Magneton, which normally our team wouldn't be very well equipped for. But, because they are not a steel type in this game, we are fine. I think we'd be fine regardless, because, our ghost type has a water type move, and steel does not resist water prior to, despite what I might think. Because I always think that steel resists water for some reason. I don't know why, but, I don't know, it just feels to me like if you splash some water on some steel, it wouldn't do much. But, steel does not actually resist water last time I checked. It might in Gen 2, because in Gen 2 steel was broken, and then they gave it a lot less weaknesses. Mind you, still has a lot less resistances, but mind you, still has a lot of resistances. Drat came up short! And, mind you, if we were sending out a water type to deal with that Magneton, it would have been a problem. But because we were sending out a ghost type with a water type move, it was not. You look good at Pokemon, but how's your chem? My chemistry? Oh, my, Mr. Strongman, how's your chemistry? My chemistry is okay, decent. I passed honors chemistry. That's what's important. I got by. But yeah, about Mario Galaxy, I think that, like, it is missing, like, the explanations that, like, the prior games had, because in Super Mario 64, like, some of the things were, like, Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 DS, some of those explanations for, like, why you're fighting bosses were, like, really funny, and and others were just, like, actually made sense. And then in Super Mario Galaxy, and it's just good, like, regardless of whether it made sense or it was just cool, regardless of whether it was, like, funny or it was cool, like, every boss had, like, a reason for you to fight it, even though it was, like, a minuscule one. Even if it was, like, a minuscule one, like iRock, where it's just, like, he went into his pyramid and now he's angry. Well, like, Super Mario Galaxy, literally, like, all the bosses you fight, they just kind of see you, and then they're like, okay, we're done here. Like, yeah, there is a little bit of story, but, like, for the most part, you just lock eyes and then fight. And I think that that's, like, kinda lame. Like I said, I like the boss designs, and I think that boss designs came a long way in Mario, from Super Mario 64 to Super Mario Galaxy, absolutely. I love Camellia. I think the Camellia is awesome, because it's like, I don't, I like Magic Koopas, but I just don't like how Kamek rides a broom, because Magic Koopas can, like, naturally fly, so it's weird to me that, like, the head honcho of the Magic Koopas, like, this sort of Magic Koopa leader, has, like, the highest ranking Magic Koopa, Kamek, has to ride a broom around, like, he can't fly himself, although, even though, like, your normal, average, everyday Magic Koopa can fly perfectly fine, like, it just seems odd that all these guys can fly on using their own, out of their own fruition. I don't know if that's the right word. They can fly on their own, they don't need any assistance, and then, I mean, I'm sure Kamek can fly on his own, but it just seems weird that he uses a broom. And it's also just so stereotypical, it's like, oh yeah, sorcerer riding a broom. It's like, what is this, Harry Potter? I've never seen Harry Potter. I've seen the first movie, that's about it. I've also never read the books, so, I know that they, like, ride brooms at some point. I think this, like, Quidditch is what it's called, like, the little sporting game, but it was a while ago that I watched the first one, so I might be wrong. But yeah, I have very limited Harry Potter experience. All I know is I watched the first one a long time ago, and I remember they were like, "You're a wizard, Harry," and that's about it. I don't remember a whole lot. I don't know when I watched that movie. I couldn't put a year to it. I couldn't put, like, a amount of time. Ow! Meltdown! But I wanna say, like, it's been at least 8 years since I watched Harry Potter. I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty, though. Oh, wait there. The road's closed. Okay, so basically, this guy won't let us pass until we get the tea from Celadon. And we can't get up the Pokemon... We can't get up the, Pokemon Tower. We can't get to the top of the Pokemon Tower until we have the SILPH Scope from Celadon. So basically, where we need to go right now is Celadon. There is no other way out of here. And if we try to go down, we will run into a Snorlax, which we need the Poke Flute for, which is found at the top of the Pokemon Tower, which obviously, as I said, we need the SILPH Scope from Celadon. So either way, whether we try to go right, left, up, or down, we have to go to Celadon to progress. So here we are, we're heading towards Celadon. It's down this path. The department store in Celadon has a great selection. I'm sure it does. I've actually been there before, quite a few times. Not as many times as, like, the Pokemon, as, like, whatever the store in, Pokemon, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald is called. I don't remember what, there is, like, a department store in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I just don't remember, like, the name of the city where it's at. I heard a sleepy Pokemon appeared near Celadon City. Honestly, I haven't gone to, like, department stores a lot, because they're, like, hard to navigate, I feel. It's just, like, I'd rather just go into a Pokemart, and, get my encounters right there. I also didn't get an encounter on that last route, so I might want to do that. Yeah, let's do that right now. Wait, hold on. First of all, do we have Pokeballs? No, we do not. Okay. Well, I might be about to take my first trip to the Celadon department store in a while. In that case, because I need Pokeballs. And I think that Celadon's department store might have more than just regular old Pokeballs. Is this the department store? This is a big building. This is a Celadon mansion. Where is the department store? Here's the department store. It is even bigger. It has a mart sign on it. That makes sense. It is, after all, just sort of a big mart. In Pokemon Let's Go, they have, like, all these, like, obscure things in this place. But in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Green, and whatever, all these, like, first games, there are so few items, I can't possibly imagine what they would sell on, like, the higher floors. Because I know in, like, Pokemon Let's Go, it's, like, only the first, like, floor or two is useful. The other ones sell, like, ribbons and, like, placemats and blankets and stuff and all this weird garbage that nobody actually needs. It's like you buy one of them and then you're, like, about done. But, yeah, that is 10 Great Balls, which... We had Pokeballs. Never mind, we had Pokeballs. How many super potions do we have? Because we could restock on super potions. Yeah, let's do that. We only have one left. Yeah, Great Balls will definitely help, because I don't know about our ability to catch Pokemon. I don't know how well we can weaken them at the moment, because our Pokemon are like so high level compared to what we're running into with trainers. I can only imagine they're much higher level than the things that we're running into in the wild. So I'd imagine that we're going to have trouble weakening them, which means, of course, that it's going to be harder to catch them, so Great Balls would be very helpful. But, can we get an encounter on this route? Because if we can, there's a route we were on coming into Celadon. Where was that? Okay, it was over here. I was gonna say, like, I was walking, to the right, and to the right, and to the right, and I was just like, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left. I was walking to the right, and I was just like, where did I come in here? I did not remember it being that, like, I did not remember walking down that street for that long, but apparently I did. So yeah, we're gonna go back through that tunnel, actually, because I just want to get an encounter on that route that I did not, and then we might be able to get an encounter on this route, too. Yeah, there is grass here. I need to check, just to make sure that they're not the same route. So this is route what? Underground Path, Celadon City, Lavender Town. This does not tell me what route we're on. So, I guess I'm gonna go with the, Andor area part of the, where you can catch Pokemon, because it's like, you can catch one Pokemon every new route Andor area. So I'm gonna call this an Andor area, because I don't know if it's a new route. I heard a sleeping Pokemon appear near Celadon City. Yeah, that is why we need the Pokeflute, because that sleeping Pokemon is Snorlax, and the Pokeflute wakes up sleeping Pokemon. What I did not know about the Pokeflute until quite recently was that it actually works on your party Pokemon too, and that's just a kind of silly thing, to the point where it's like, oh yeah, why wouldn't it? Like, you say it, and it's like, it sounds very obvious. If you already know it, you're like, oh yeah, someone tells you like, oh, did you know that the Pokeflute can wake up sleeping Pokemon on your team? And they're like, yeah, that's obvious, that's stupid, how did you not know that? But like, I don't know, I just felt like, why would they sell you awakenings in the game if you could just like get a thing that like allows you to just wake up sleeping Pokemon whenever you want? It's like it almost sounds too good to be true, to the point where I just like doubt the validity of it. Like, even if I was told, I feel like I wouldn't believe it until I saw it for myself, that like it can be used to wake up sleeping Pokemon, because that sounds like just so good, to the point where it's like, there's no way, that's too good to be true. But it is. I have seen it, and maybe it doesn't work in this game, but it definitely works in Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I know that in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, you can actually make other flutes, and I believe the blue flute in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald is used to wake up sleeping Pokemon, because you can make flutes out of like ash in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, because they have that one route where it's like, there's ash littering the floor, and you could like pick some up, you could like harvest it and give it to a guy, and he makes you flutes out of ash, I think, because they use it for like glass blowing or something. I don't really know how to make a flute, but like, he does something with the ash, and then you get a flute. Bada bing, bada boom. But oh yeah, so we want to catch Pokemon on this route over here. So we're gonna head down this way, and around, and to the left, and up, and into this tree, where we will not click on it with the A button, because that doesn't actually do anything in this game, unlike in future games where you can just like press on the tree, and then it's like, do you want to cut down this tree? And it's like, yeah. In this one, you actually have to go into your party, and click on it yourself. I feel like Alice is the Haunter, yeah? I'm starting to learn these things, let's go. Only took ages, but I feel like our best bet for weakening this thing is abusing Haunter's stupid bad attack. Yeah, because it is 50. Let's see, it is only 50. Let's see everyone else's attack. Oh my gosh, you can't just cycle through Pokemon to see their stats in this. This is, oh my gosh, there are just so many quality of life features missing from Gen 1. It's nuts. But like, who has the weakest attack stat? Neither stat. There might be someone who's like got even worse special attack than Haunter does attack. We'll see. Stats, not switch. Attack. This is special. Attack is not actually that much higher than special on Gerald, so it would have been great to have actually kept Ember, but you'll live, you'll learn. And I made a mistake. That's my bad. We don't actually have any... The special on Carly is worse than the physical on Haunter. Alice, I mean. If I call one Pokemon by its name, I should probably call the other one by its name. But, we don't actually have any special moves on Carly, so Alice's physical attacks will have to do. That being said, we are fighting a Gloom. I don't know if this thing can, like, heal, and it will be very annoying to catch. It's also very annoying. I don't know how well we could use this thing, because, y'all may be saying, oh, it can evolve. This may not be that good of a Pokemon, but it can evolve. And then it's a randomized evolution, so it might evolve into something really good. But here's the thing, we need a Leaf Stone to evolve this thing. I think. So, like, I'm trying to... Because there's, like, a mossy rock in Gen 4, there's, like, the mossy rock, and then there's the icy rock, and there's, like, the two rocks that you can find that you use to evolve into Leafeon, into either Leafeon or Glaceon, but it's, like, if there was just a Leaf Stone, why would you need a mossy rock? That doesn't make any sense. So, like, maybe there isn't a Leaf Stone, but then how would you evolve Gloom? Because I know there's not, like, a mossy rock in this game, so certainly there must be a Leaf Stone. Because, like, you have all the evolutionary stones for Eevee, but, there's no... Leaf Stone does not evolve, Eevee into, Leafeon, which makes me think that since Leafeon was introduced in Gen 4, the Leaf Stone wasn't introduced until after Gen 4. But yeah, we are going to use a Great Ball. We're not messing around. I want this thing in the ball. I want another team member. Come on, Gloom. Seriously, Gloom? What the heck? Maybe you're not worthy of a Great Ball. You know what? Maybe that's the problem here. Maybe it's too good for you. We definitely cannot hit this thing again. It is healing slightly, so if it keeps breaking out of the ball, then we might be able to. Because it might regain enough health to the point where we can hit it. But I would be really scared to, unless it has, like, a decent amount of health left. Also, I'm afraid I would just crit it. Like, even if it does have enough health that I'm sure it would live another hit, I'd be scared to hit it again, because, obviously we didn't crit it the first time trying to weaken it, but, like, I worry that lightning would strike. We have Gloom. We caught one. Technically, we had a Vileplume, so that could have been a Species Clause if that Vileplume was legal. Excuse me. Excuse me again. I don't know if y'all could hear, but I drank a bunch of water and then I just burped twice. Commentating about what is happening to me in real life, my bodily systems, I guess. But yeah, this Gloom is going to be named, I think we're on the boy's name at this point. I don't really know for sure, but I feel like we have a lack of boys' names on this team, so I'm just going to assume that we are going for the boy's name now. So we are going to name this Gloom Kyle. This is Kyle the Gloom. Say hi, everybody. But yeah, Kyle definitely needs some leveling up. And then let's actually head to the next route. Head back over to that route that's his next Celadon, and then we can get an encounter there. But I might save that for the next episode, just because this episode's running a little long right now at this point. Gerald is the one with Cut. I should have that memorized within at least by the time we get to what's the island? What's the island where Blaine is? Whatever island that is. I should have it memorized by at least then who has Cut. Any earlier than that, and I doubt my abilities. But yeah, I do think that just Camellia, if that's the boss's name. You know, like the Magic Koopa in Super Mario Galaxy, who was like on the abandoned ship with like the purple robe. I think it is really cool, not only that we have a Magic Koopa with a different fashion choice, but also a Magic Koopa who is like leading, like Kamek, but who does not ride a broom, because the broom is just like, stereotypical, meh, don't care, regular Magic Koopas can fly, why do you need a broom? It just seems like, even if he can fly by himself, the fact that he uses a broom is just like, I don't see why if he could fly by himself. Even if he can fly by himself, it's lame that he uses a broom. So either way, I dislike it. But yeah, I will say that like Super Mario 64 definitely had, like, better reasons for fighting bosses, and I'm not done with the Super Mario Galaxy topic, so I guess I'm gonna catch the next Pokemon while I'm talking, while I'm finishing up my whole rant about Mario, as I do many of them, because I love Mario. Despite the fact that I complain so much about it, I really do love Mario. Alice is the one with, yeah, the bad attack stat and the only decent fighting, physical attacking move. Okay, Psyduck. It's level 20. This thing could probably take a low kick pretty well. I don't think a crit would kill. If we do crit this, I don't think it would kill. A crit would have killed. It did flinch, that's good. I think that we had some trouble catching the Gloom, and Gloom was lower in health than this, but I feel like Psyduck also has a higher catch rate. I remember Vinny always used to say, like, wow, when he's having trouble catching these things, he always used to say, like, wow, this has a really high catch rate, and it's really funny to me, because that's the opposite of what it has. If it's hard to catch, then it has a low catch rate, because the lower the rate is, the less common it is, because that's how rates work, obviously. Like, 10% is harder to catch than 50%. So, while lulling its enemies with its vacant look, this wily Pokemon will use psychonetic powers. Yo, low-key, I'm kind of a Psyduck. Like, I get headaches all the time. I said I was going to talk about Mario while, catching this Pokemon, but then I just didn't. So, well, my bad. I do want to, heal these Pokemon up. Grind these Pokemon up. Yes, I want to heal them up, first of all, but also grind them up, before I take on the next gym. So next episode might be a grinding episode. We are going to name this Psyduck, Lucy. I don't think I have a Lucy yet. If I have a Lucy, then, that's a shame that I named another Pokemon the same thing, but I don't think I have a Lucy yet. Lucy's a pretty bomber name. Yeah, I do not have a Lucy yet. We have a Carly, which also ends with a Y, but, no Lucy yet. So that is Lucy added to the team. We now have a team of 6, and I want to keep it that way. So, in the next episode, I'm going to grind those Pokemon up. If y'all want to hear the rest of my Super Mario Galaxy rant, then I guess tune into the next episode. In all honesty, there's not that much more to it. I probably could have finished it in this episode if I just made it a little longer, but I don't feel like making it a little longer. So, thank you all so much for watching, Eevee Clan. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And this is Alex S. Beyond, signing off.